Okay, hi everybody. It's us, Solera
Once again.
and Santari. And Santari asked me to interview him about his books, plural, but I think in this particular one, Merlin the Return.
Particularly, we're talking about The Way of Dragons,
Oh,
which is the next book in the audiobook project. We've done Merlin. Merlin's dusted and polished. Merlin's behind me. He said, "Great job well done." So it's The Way of Dragons that we're actually looking at now. And
exciting. I didn't know we were going into the next one on this. That's wonderful. I love it. So what inspired you to write The Way of Dragons?
Well, let me see. First started that in January of 2011. And I wrote a few pages, basically, I think 5 pages in total. And then I was stuck because I didn't know what to do with it. And the storyline that I had was of someone who finds himself in a body and he doesn't know really what a body is, what to do about a body. It's almost like some people, they're observers. They see things happening, but they aren't touched by it. You know, they're not really immersed in life. And that's a sort of like a theme, I think, for some people. They are the bystanders. They don't really seem to fit in to, to their own thinking. And there's no demands being made upon them to do things. And so their life is you might say, pretty mundane. It doesn't have that zest in it, that feel that, you're inspired to do something amazing. But this character is a magical being. You learn that very early on in the book. That not only is this a magical being, but he also has a connection with dragons. Hence, it's called The Way of Dragons.
Which, of course, you and I both have a totally magical connection with dragons, don't we? Yeah.
Yes, but this it comes in from a place very similar to the starting place in Magica of someone who really isn't completely fully present, just like has an idea, if you like, about where he is and who he is, but there's nothing that's really fleshed out. And so over the course of the next few chapters, you get to be introduced to the character more, to find out that he's actually on a mission. And this mission is about greatness. The book, in fact, is about greatness. It's a tale about greatness. It's a tale about finding yourself. It's a tale about creating a magical reality. It's a tale really about finding you have all sorts of gifts in you, and you're suddenly finding out how to use those gifts, how things just seem to fit together. And the Way of Dragons is really showing you that there's a magical life that is there for each person, for each one of us. And it just really just needs us to really tune into and go deep sometimes into finding out what that life will look like and craft and create it for yourself.
And that is so you and me, isn't it? That's how we live.
Well, see, the idea for the book just seemed to come to me like that.
Yeah.
And then I spent several months, years, in fact, trying to see where I would go with it next, because I didn't have a storyline. It was just a few pages, and then, that's good. And sometimes I do get that in writing. I just have a few phrases or pages, and I don't have the impetus to take it any further. But I wanted to take this story further because it seemed to me a very unique, well, for me at least, starting point of having to actually fathom what reality is all about, how you put thoughts together to create an understanding, what the feelings you might have, how they affect you in strange ways, and your relationship with other people. Then you don't know how to be with other people. And I think for a lot of people who are, you might say, autistic, they might find some inspiration from this book, because it is almost like pitched into that area of not being able to reconcile yourself with a bigger world reality, or even the reality outside your front door. So then, it's sort of like, it asks many questions, but it also prompts the reader to present themselves with lots of soul-searching answers.
Yeah. So you've now written Imagica, Merlin the Return, and The Way of Dragons, right? When did you publish The Way of Dragons?
This one was published, in fact, it was January this year, January
Oh, so
2020.
you've done 2 books this year.
In effect, yes,
Because we
Superhumans
did
with you.
Superhumans, yeah, and you were also contributing author to Love Letters from the Future. So
That's right.
3
And
books
I also have another book, which is a sequel to Merlin the Return,
that you're writing, right?
in the pipeline, which I go to from time to time as the muse directs me.
Wonderful.
But yes, I'm bound up very much at the moment with this audiobook project, which is about taking these self-published books and putting information, the background information, what led to the writing of the book, what does the book symbolize for me, how do the characters sort of like present themselves, and how something amazing is created from the juxtaposition of characters. So there's a lot about the art of writing in there, and it's the art of storytelling as well, because half of the book is taken up with storytelling in various ways. It's about the presentation of information that would perhaps give inspiration to people who want to write their own stories. How do you go about it? Well, it's like you connect with your muse. You suddenly start to feel that something says to you, whispers in your ear, do you know that there's a story just waiting to be told, and you are the only one who can tell that story? And you go, wow, okay, I'm in, sign me up. Fingers poised on the keyboard, pen in hand, starts to write. It can be just as easy as that. So I think there's a great joy in the art of being able to tell a story, as well as to be able to write a story.
Oh, absolutely. When you held the book up, I noticed the picture of the dragon we used for the cover is behind you. Can you just pick it up and show everybody the dragon? And Nancy and Andriana gave you that dragon. So pick up the actual dragon head behind you. Yeah, there it is. And Nancy and Andriana from Australia were here visiting, and they bought that for Santari. That's what we used for the cover for the book. Isn't it wonderful?
I mean, this is going back quite a few years.
Yeah, talk about wise and amazing. The way of dragon.
Actually, the dragon has a name. It's Vasha.
Oh, wonderful. Of course it does. I love it. Yeah, beautiful.
Has made a few appearances in a few teleclasses too.
I love it. Okay, anything else you want to say before you start to dive into doing the audiobook for The Way of Dragons?
Well, this is just a very brief introduction to the book itself on the audiobook project. And there will be other articles that I will be promoting to the group from time to time. And so this is the start of something big.
Watch for the audio recordings to come shortly in the Facebook group. That's wonderful. Okay, everybody, enjoy, have a magical, magical reality, and may your own genius writings flow from your fingertips wondrously.
Hurrah to that.
Bye, everybody.
Bye for now.